Good evening, everybody. Welcome to playoff race number 1 here at the SERL Truck Series. Happy Saturday night to you, and welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're getting ready to do 100 laps around this bad boy, playoff truck racing. Nothing better than the playoffs, man. It always brings out some really high excitement, and we are thrilled to be a part of it here in the SERL Saturday Night Truck Series. So let's take a look at what we got here. I'm going to pull up the points real quick. I believe we have got one heck of a battle here for the points, as we have Dakota Reeder is leading the points right now, only by 3 over Dean Brummett. Blake Giglio and Anthony Trippi are tied for third place, only 4 points behind the leader. Dakota Camper is 5 points back. Landon Lacey in the 6th position is only 7 points back. Stoney Benfield in the, let's see, so Stoney Benfield is going to be 9 points back. Josh Anderson, 10 points back. With the reset in points for the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves one heck of a battle. As we see Dean Brummett, according to my live scoring here, just put down the fastest time on the track, I believe. So far holding that point, the point here to take the pole at a 30.28. So that's a heck of a lap here by the 316. He finally got a win. He comes out here and qualifies on the pole for our first playoff race, as we are getting just about 30 seconds to let these guys finish up qualifying here. I don't see, yes, we do have one on track right now. Let's see who we got here. Richard Gonzalez, the number 23, laying down his qualifying time. Really good looking scheme. I like that scheme this week. Looks kind of reminds me of Martin Truex Jr. or something Truex would run. It's a nice looking truck there. And let's see who else we got. We got Cody Reeder on track in the 25, laying down his qualifying time. And here in just a few moments, Logan Lax is going to be joining us up here in the booth. He's just getting home from a soccer game, so give him a minute to get logged into the session, and we're going to get this race underway. 100 laps here at Charlotte. There is going to be a stage scoring at lap 45, I believe. They will not be throwing a caution, but the top 10 will get stage points accordingly. And as always, Darren's Nail Gun Repair is giving away cash and prizes here at the end of the season for the guy that finishes this year with the least amount of incident points. And if I'm not mistaken, currently holding that position is Anthony Trippi, but Dean Brummett is closing in on that. So as we say each and every week, it is awesome to see leagues promoting clean racing and rewarding those drivers for using their heads out there on the racetrack. So we see the guys gridding up here. Oh, look at that. Landon Lacey laid down a lap here. He came and took that pole right at the last second over Dean Brummett. That number 24 is back this week. And, wow, he laid down a burner there. That was a heck of a lap here. Put in front of that 316 on the starting grid. Oh, man. And what can you say about Charlotte? I mean, just such a... Man, this is one of my favorite racetracks. You know, just idolizing this sport and watching, you know, the success of ones like Jimmy Johnson and, you know, Dale Earnhardt and stuff having the success here at Charlotte. Under the lights, these cars always for the All-Star race was one of my most favorite events ever, looking at these beautiful race cars under the lights here at Charlotte. Just such an incredible facility, and, man, the atmosphere here is just electric. I'm looking forward to a good race here tonight in SERL, as we are starting to get these guys on track to take their first pace laps here. And we are going to get this thing underway momentarily. All right. Logan, you got a copy?
Yep, I've got a copy.
All right, good deal. Let's getting ready to do some trucking here. As I'm sure you heard, Landon Lacey came up here and stole the pole away from Dean. So that number 24 starting on the inside of the front row. And our lone Toyota. But boy, he shows up each and every week with speed. So it's going to be a long run game for these boys, not having a huge field, I reckon.
Yeah, and finally I can give some insight on, you know, the track, because I've run here quite a bit. So I've kind of got some ideas of how these trucks will handle in the long run. I believe the race I did was 120 laps. So,
Nice, nice, nice. Is that the one that you sent me the video link on?
no, that
Oh,
was
okay.
Daytona for
Oh,
Thursday
okay.
night.
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be fun. But
All right,
we got some
green.
other stuff to do.
Yes, we do. Green flag is out here. Landon Lacey on that low side underneath the 316, and the 25 is sucking right up to the rear of that 24 car, trying to use the momentum on that bottom side here. Ooh, 25 thought about 3 wide. He didn't take it, but he thought it.
Dean is talking about how finicky these cars are getting. So I wonder if maybe he's dealing with a little bit of the truck getting loose.
Yeah, they'll definitely do that. They will definitely do that. We saw a couple guys losing some rear end traction in practice before you hopped in here. So,
No, really.
yeah, definitely some loose featuristics coming into this one. But good battle up front here as we see the number 24 of Landon Lacey followed closely by only a .10 difference between Dean Brummett right now for the first position here. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, Dean doing a really good job of sticking with Landon, but Dakota's right behind him there in that P3.
Yeah, that number 3 is moved up a spot here real quick on the start of this thing. And that Dale Earnhardt looking scheme there, number 3. Awesome looking paint scheme. Freeman Racing Network, Dubs. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much for commenting and supporting these awesome drivers here.
Stoney Binfield currently is your biggest mover with +2 positions from 1 lap in.
Nice. Sir. New look this week for Anthony Trippi, and then a Starbucks number 44. It's a pretty cool looking paint scheme as he came up here to the front pretty quick, and he came to mix it up here for the lead as we are coming to lap 5 already of 100.
Yeah, speaking of mixing it up, the 3 and the 316 and both jumped Landon Lacey. They went together on that inside, and then Dakota tried to make that pass on Dean Brummett.
They definitely made it work. Good side-by-side battle here. The 3 and the 316. One thing I love about this facility is it's not one racing line. You could make multiple racing grooves work and puts on one heck of a show as we see side-by-side battles here.
Yeah, that's one thing I like. Yeah, that's one thing I like about driving at Charlotte is you can kind of get forced to another line and still be successful in driving against another driver or defending your position.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's take a look back a little bit further here. Your points leader, Cody Reeder, he's fallen off a couple spots here. He's lost 2 spots since the beginning of this thing, but like I said earlier, we don't have a real big field here tonight. I think some of these guys are going to use that to their advantage and think long run speed right now, and he's probably serving his equipment.
Is Dave Fuge Jr. new in that number 4 truck?
He was here last week. Actually ran really well. Was the first time I had seen that name here, so I don't know if he had run races previously in previous years, and maybe he did hit it. We're gonna stop talking about you, Dave. Sorry about that.
My bad, Dave.
But no,
got back.
He did run really good last week. I know. Oh, boy.
Sorry. As I believe Mike Wells in that 8 truck running the 9 currently, according to iRacing, is also up 2 positions. Dakota Camper is up 2 positions, and Stoney Binfield is up 3. Still your biggest mover.
Nice. Yeah, I think number 8 had a week he would have liked to forget last week. It did not go very well for him at Darlington, so it's good to see him having a good run here. And James Jones, as always, in that cool looking number 45. Looks like it might have changed the little different hue to that truck tonight. It used to, I don't know, maybe it's the same, but I think it might be a little bit different color. But regardless,
different gray.
Yeah. Definitely looks a little bit different. And a new scheme this week for Jesse Steffes, the number 49 machine. Pretty cool looking Corona truck out there tonight.
Yeah, as I was checking sorry.
No, you're good.
I was checking a replay on that backstretch. I believe Dave Fuge also caught that wall a tiny bit. I don't know if that'll register, if maybe that was a bit of net cut. I know I've seen that in a few races where it hasn't really affected the driver, but just saw some smoke coming off the wall, so I thought I'd check that out.
Gotcha. Right on, right on. So 316 up to the point here. He has taken the lead over the number 3 truck of Dakota Camper, but Landon Lacey's holding on pretty tight there. Has not lost
Dean has
any more
gapped.
positions.
Yeah, Dean has gapped Dakota a little bit. Wonder if maybe he's trying to push to get the stage.
Yeah, maybe. We still got a long way to go, but I guess we'll see how it all works out. I know that, last week at Darlington, he really learned a lot about his long run speed. He really felt like the first half of that race he pushed way too hard. And, man, he was just lights out I call it the fourth quarter, but the last part of that race, that 316, really understood what he had to do to maintain and get that win, and certainly utilized the momentum on the high side to keep the lead there. But man, that was a fantastic battle we had here in SERL for the win last week at Darlington. As we see the number 24 overtaking the 3 here on the low side, Landon Lacey is going to be moved back up to that second position.
Yeah, Landon wants that P1 that he lost 2 laps ago. Supposed to go back to the front.
He is doing just that.
I'm so sorry if you hear me dipping out every now and then. I am currently still a bit sick, so.
No worries. Yeah, I know you weren't feeling good, and being outside in the elements playing sports probably doesn't help that a whole lot, so I totally understand.
I wish it was outside.
Oh, it was inside today?
Yeah. Outside starts next week, though.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But,
Good times.
yeah, these guys starting to spread out a little bit.
Yes, they are.
Trying to save.
Quite the battle for the rear here. The 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th spots. All these guys are under a blanket here, fighting for that top 10.
That 08 of David Mayo, the 23 of Richard Gonzalez. Yeah, I think that 4 has got some heavy aero damage that's holding him back.
It certainly looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, because he's continuing to lose spots. As Richard Gonzalez gets a massive run on David Mayo here. He's going to go on his inside.
Gonna make it work. 23 of Richard Gonzalez is back up to 9th position here after losing a few spots on that initial restart. But yeah, I think you're right there on that number 4 car. I think he's got a lot of damage. The one positive he has going for him, if he can hold off until the pit cycle here, they do have one faster pair and try to get that truck fixed up a little bit here. As we see the number 24 of Landon Lacey, he's headhunting that lead right now and has closed the gap up by only 0.14 against Dean Brummett here. That 24 has been bad fast today.
Yeah, but back on that 4's damage, I think maybe he's going to hope for a caution and see if he can get it on optional, and then if he can't, he may have to use that fast repair.
Yeah, that'd be the ideal thing. Save the fast repair for later if an unknown were to happen. As we see the 24 ducking low, taking the lead here on coming to lap 17 of 100. Landon Lacey, number 24, back up front here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and the more they battle for the lead, I think maybe more of a chance that 4 has of grabbing that caution. Because moves like that, maybe one person messes something up, and suddenly the entire race changes.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man. Anything can happen, and usually does, but these guys certainly know how to get it done. We see the number 44 of Anthony Trippi closing up on the rear end of that number 3 truck here, trying to take over the 3rd spot. Not able to do it just yet, but don't look now. Your points leader, Cody Reeder, he's up here, and he wants to play too. So don't forget about me, boys.
Yeah, I think Cody wants to make up some spots before the stage end so that he doesn't lose, as much ground as he already has to Dean Brummett. Because I believe as of right now, after the stage, they would be tied if they finish like this.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point. And I know that Landon has missed a couple races this year, but so those points, every point is definitely going to matter.
Who's playoff? Are the blue banners the ones who are playoff eligible?
Yeah, they've got the blue banners. Yes, sir.
Okay, except for Cody, because I don't think he's updated his scheme.
That's what I was looking at, too. I don't think he does have that, does he?
Okay. Then I'm going to go and read off who's playoff eligible. So, it is Dakota Reeder, the 25, Dean Brummett, the 316, Dakota Camper in the 3, Anthony Trippi in the 44, Blake Giglio in the 16, Landon Lacey in the 24, Stoney Binfield in the 75, Josh Anderson in the 7, James C. Jones in the 45, Jesse Steffes in the 49, John J. McIntyre in the 2, and Richard Gonzalez in the 23. Those are your 12 eligible.
Absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think McIntyre's in the field here tonight.
I don't believe that, is Blake Gigley on the field tonight?
Oh, yeah, you're
No,
right.
he's not either.
No, he isn't either. Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I knew that John wasn't here, but you're right.
I don't think
So there's
Josh is
2 playoff
on the
guys.
Justice.
Yeah, Josh Anderson.
Josh isn't on the track.
He's not on the track. That's a
No,
good
so I
point.
So that's, you know,
Hmm.
3 drivers who are going to lose valuable points here. And, you know, 4 will get eliminated. So,
Yeah, they've got
you know,
a.
these are valuable points.
Absolutely, man. And they've got a pretty strict. There we go. 25 underneath the number 3 here. 25 is going to be moving up, taking that 3rd position away from Dakota Camper. He's going to try at least. 3's fighting back on the high side here. The 25 is going to make it stick. Lap 21 of 100 complete. Coming to lap 22 right now. Don't forget that stage break for these guys is going to be at lap 45.
Now, that's a move I'm proud a man who stole my number did. Because that's exactly what I would do right there.
Yeah, that was definitely a good move, and definitely got some good long run speed in that 25 here. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that, man, because he's hauling the mail right now. Right now he is actually between. Let's see. Well, the leader was the fastest with a 31.99, but the second fastest are the next 2 guys. So 1, 2, and 3 are by far the fastest guys on the racetrack right now.
As Cody Reeder just ran the fastest lap of the 3 with a 31.96. Dean Brummett ran a 32 flat, and Landon Lacey ran a 32.03. Small difference on paper, but once it starts to add up, you'll see them start seeing them get a bit closer.
Yep, absolutely. If he can keep that consistent, he's going to be up to the front here battling for this lead. We are coming to lap 24 already. This race is literally just fly by. I don't think he's grabbing anything just yet. But.
So maybe just pulling Dakota Camper along with him. This is a battle for 5th right behind him, I think, it looks like.
Stony Benfield trying to take it.
Stony Benfield, yeah. These 2 are both playoff contenders, so Stony wants that another position. I believe he's still currently our biggest mover. He is with +4 on the race today.
Sir, and you see that 44 tucking right up underneath him, man, trying to utilize that draft a little bit.
The 44 might actually suit maybe trying to push that 75 a little bit and trying to make a move closer to stage end so that he can get that extra point. Sometimes patience is key in these races, but, you know, the last thing you want to be in these is patient sometimes. Sometimes you just want to get ahead and lead.
That's for sure. That's exactly what the 24 has done.
Yeah, that's something that I am very bad at. They say I have no fuel gauge, so.
Yeah, 24 is hauling it today. We're going to hop in board and let's take a ride with your leader here. Let's take a lap around Charlotte Motor Speedway. Boy, he's just hugging that bottom line, isn't he?
Aye. Whatever keeps you on the bottom. I know that's something that I like to do, especially in a place like Richmond. Daytona, usually I don't like to hug it as much because it'll kind of pull you down and get you a bit loose in that bottom line, especially in the next gens.
Yeah.
I was running there last night and I tried to get an extra bit of real estate on the bottom and the car got really wobbly, so that's when I decided that I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, to track like Charlotte and these trucks, it really suits it to kind of run that line because I feel like these trucks are a bit more stable when they take hits or when they don't really wobble around as much, in my experience. So
You see right now the 25 closing up on that 316. Like we said, man, long run speed in that 25 is definitely there tonight. He is going to be one to watch when this thing comes to the end of this race because his long run speed is he is just bad fast right now, boys.
Yeah, and remember, these are the top 2 in points right here, battling for position. So any position here that they can get is points on each other. Dean right now is up 1 point on Cody for the stage. Cody wants 1 more. So each of them doing what they can to extend their lead or take it down.
He's there. Catching them and passing them are 2 different things, but that 25 is there. See if he can't take a little bit of the air off the rear of that car. There he goes.
He's going to go low. I think he's going to go for a move into 3 and 4. I definitely think a move in 3 and 4 is, not always as reliable as a move into 1 and 2 because the car can get a bit tighter and slide back up the track into the other person. But sometimes that other person is also getting really tight. That's on that outside line, so it kind of fits a little bit better. It kind of depends on where at in the racetrack and where the other person's tires are at. But it's very kind of conditional pass in 3 and 4 compared to 1 and 2.
Looks like the 08 might be a little bit off the pace here. It's going to be going a lap down here early on at Charlotte. Oh,
I think
boy.
he had a pit stop.
I was going to say, I think he might have pitted because he didn't give 25 any room right there at all.
Yeah, he pit on lap 28. So he is our first one in. It looks like he may have dinged the wall. Looks like he's got some right side damage.
Gotcha.
From before the pit stop.
That could be it. He definitely didn't do the 25 any favors right there. He did not give him an inch. But he wants to get, excuse me, he wants to get his lap back, so.
Yeah, the 08 had some heavy right side damage. I wonder if he caught the wall somewhere.
There we go. Pit stops are underway here. The 24, 316, and where's the 25? Is he coming? 25 stayed out. He is going to lead a lap here and get that bonus point toward a championship. So, hey, I'd call that some smart driving. We see a lot of guys taking hitting pit road here. Pit road's a busy place right now.
Ooh.
Ooh, boy.
As I scroll back, I found the contact. Looks like trying to avoid the 4 who was sliding up out of 2. Seems like David Mayo just turned right to try and avoid it. Oh no. The car just turned right on its own. That's a really weird situation from David Mayo, but that's where he seemed to get all of his right side damage from.
Gotcha. Your leader, Cody Reeder. Wow. I'm going to try not to do that again. Your leader, Cody Reeder, is on pit road as things are going to cycle through here, and that should put the race back in the control of the 24. We're going to see how this all plays out because, right before the pit stops, we saw that 25 machine had some really, really great long run speed and was making moves up toward the front here. And looks like Dean lost a little bit of time on pit road. Gonna wait till things cycle out here, but
I am also wondering. So what I've seen from Cody is he seems to split it into about a 32, 33 lap run.
Whew.
So I wonder if maybe he can save and do a 3 lap or like a 2 stop instead of a 3 stop like the other guys are kind of on pace for maybe.
yeah, I guess we'll see how that all works out. We will certainly keep our eye on it. That is going to put the lead back into the hands of the number 24 car, Landon Lacey. 35 down here at Charlotte. A whole bunch to go, so do not go anywhere. We're going to be right back live at Charlotte. One moment. All right, as always, thanks to Blake Howell Designs, BHR_sim racing on Instagram. Does some awesome work and appreciate you coming on board as a broadcast partner. Great looking work there. Check them out, BHR_sim racing on Instagram. Back up front here, 37 down, coming to lap 38. 24 leading the way over Dean Brummett by 0.73 seconds. And a pretty big gap now over Cody Reeder, is a couple seconds behind. So that pit strategy there, he certainly did. He did one thing that was absolutely flawless, and that was he led a lap and got a bonus point, but he certainly lost a lot of time on the racetrack to the leaders.
Did Dakota pit again and showing it was P12?
It is
I wonder
showing.
if maybe he got a speeding penalty of some sort.
That's certainly possible. It did.
Yeah, he pit twice.
He did pit twice. He must have got caught speeding on pit road. Wow, good observation. Yep, my life scoring and timing says Dakota Camper entered pit road 2 times.
Yeah,
Well,
I saw him coming back out on track. I was like, I thought all the green stop pits were done.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
that sucks for Dakota Camper. Yeah,
It definitely does. That's not the way you want to start your playoff run here with a penalty. Keep your eye on it here.
But remember, three other playoff drivers are not here, and Camper still has some decent points on these other drivers. So I think he may be in a good enough position where he can afford one bad race, but he'll definitely have to bounce back next week.
Oh, for sure. Right now, we're kind of seeing that 316 close up the gap here on Landon. To maybe once again take the lead here, we're going to have to see. You know, that 24 had really... Yeah, okay, now we see a lapper here.
Yeah.
The
As we
three,
go,
it's got fresh tires. Their leaders are just going to let him go.
As we go 5 laps to the end of the stage, there is no caution thrown for the stages here in SERL. So these guys will continue to go around the track at full speed. So don't panic when they don't slow down. They're meant to do that. It's fine. And hopefully they know that. As Dean has picked up the pace a little bit, I wonder if maybe he's pushing too hard again. He seemed to fall off a bit at the end of that last run. So
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe he's trying to push too hard. He's going to use up his fuel and his tires, making up all that time. So we'll see how he handles at the end of this run.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I did notice at the beginning of this thing was the 24 lost a couple spots at the start because, you know, he just laid back and was patient for the first 5-10 laps. Let the race come to him, and then his long run speed was certainly class of the field here. But 316 is not going to do it right now. We're going to have to see how long that maintains as far as pace. And got to give a shout out to the 44 here, man. He's hanging a real strong run. The Starbucks number 44 is hanging out in the 4th position, right on your points leader's rear bumper. He's not going to hand over this championship, that's for sure. We know Anthony Trippi is here to race, and he has already shown this year that he can win races. So, great run so far for him. And the number 75, Stoney Benfield, is up 4 spots since the beginning of this thing. They do reward these drivers for bonus points for clean driving, and the biggest mover will get bonus points at the end of the race. That is currently your man right there, number 75.
Yeah, and you were talking about Landon Lacey's starting kind of strategy earlier. That almost feels reminiscent to some place like Daytona or Talladega, where you kind of sit back and save some fuel for a bit, and then push harder once everyone else is kind of out and kind of bunched up.
Yeah, you can certainly save a lot of fuel in the draft, that's for sure. Being out here in front, though, I don't think the 24 is able to save a whole lot of fuel. I think he's more worried right now about those good years as opposed to fuel. But the 316 is keeping him honest, that's for sure. He is one slip up, and Dean is going to be right there to take the lead. I guarantee that.
Yeah, saving fuel was not something I was great in my career last night. So hopefully these guys are a bit better at it than I am.
Yeah. So we got 2 packs of 2 here, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 are nose to tail.
Oh, I see 2 packs of 2 now, and I immediately think of some I did Thursday night. So I won't bring it up. This isn't a podcast about me. This is a race broadcast about SERL. As we see Dean Brummett catching up to Landon, that 24 Landon Lacey. I believe they're teammates, aren't they? I thought they were.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, but hey, they're
They're
gonna race each other
yeah.
hard.
I forget what the name is.
Filthy Five?
Filthy 5. There we go. What did you say at the start of the season?
I forget. I don't know. I
It
had
was like 5-5 Motorsport.
yeah,
What you
I
were
had
saying.
my notes written down wrong, and hey, I
Wrote
fixed
'em
it.
down.
Wrote them down. Yep. Definitely a good battle up here. Like I said, man, that 316 is keeping Landon honest. He cannot make a mistake, or he's going to be there to pounce and take this lead. Because we are almost halfway done here. We're coming to lap 49 of 100 already. So we're going to have to keep our eye on it. You know, one thing we saw a little bit different last week is, man, we saw somebody with a really bold pit strategy, and it just did not work for him. But it was an A for effort, because literally in the situation where if you follow the leader, that's all exactly what you're going to do. You're going to keep following the leader, and he tried something completely different. Fell a little bit short, but it makes you wonder into the playoffs if we're going to see any bold moves to try to capitalize and go out there and steal a win when you know you're not the fastest guy on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's definitely something you see in maybe not as much in NASCAR anymore, because so many teams have the same information, but you know, it's definitely something possible in iRacing, because these guys aren't as connected as, you know, maybe the big teams in NASCAR. So these guys can be a little bit more confident and a bit more creative with their fuel strategies due to how they race.
That is for sure. It looks like the 08 of David Mayo is about to go another lap down here.
Because Dean, it looked like, was going to slide up into him for a second. That's from my TV cam. As you have to admire Dean's commitment to that 316 scheme and second place.
Yeah, he'd been running.
He blinks out.
Did blink out a little bit there, didn't he?
Yeah. I was just like, where'd he go?
Yeah, and you know what? Some guys like to do that, man. I've got a couple guys that I run with in the RSR Cup Series that they literally run the exact same scheme all year long, and there's no mistaking about who you're running with. That's for sure. 316 is definitely doing that. As we see right now, we've got a 25 is going to be, gosh, what, 3.8 seconds behind second place runner here.
As James C. Jones crossing the line on lap 51 is singing "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi.
Oh, that's entertaining.
That right there is a man of sheer will.
Sounded like he was clutched it a little bit there. Is he in a fuel saving mode?
Maybe trying to cut that down to 2 stops. Like I said, maybe some of these guys looking to try an alternate fuel strategy, but with how far behind someone
You
like
can
James
hear him.
Jones is, I don't know if it'll count for much.
Yeah, if you take a listen here, maybe that's why he's singing. He's trying a bold strategy on fuel, just like we talked about. Listen to him clutch it.
Crap. I'm not quite sure what that's from.
All the way off the throttle, pushing the clutch, trying to save as much fuel in that number 45 as he can while he's singing Bon Jovi. That's pretty impressive.
I could do that. I'll try it in my truck race Thursday. And I'll send it to you.
Please don't.
You don't want to hear my great singing?
Oh.
Lacey continues to maybe run away a little bit from Dean Brummett. I think Dean pushed his stuff a little too much. But I think as long as he doesn't lose as much time on pit road as he did that last cycle, he should be within a good enough striking distance, as I think these guys will start to pit in the next 5 to 10 laps.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're probably about right there. I think we start seeing people around lap 32.
So you're thinking 32, 64, and then they're going to try and stretch it a little bit?
seconds. Oh boy, yeah,
I
that's
know
gonna be a
Cody.
tough one.
Yeah, I know Cody pit last, and that was on his lap 32.
Gotcha.
Because if I check, does this? Yeah. So pit lap, Cody Reeder was 33. Landon Lacey, Dean Brummett were 32. Anthony Trippi was at 31. Stoney Benfield and James C. Jones were both at 32. Richard Gonzalez was 31. Dave Hughes Jr. was 32. Jesse Steffes was at 31. David Mayo was that early pit that we saw at lap 28. Mike Wells, lap 32, and then Dakota, who had to go in the second time, assuming due to a pitting penalty or speeding penalty at lap 35, as Dean Brummett and Landon Lacey are currently the only two on track running sub 32s right now, both in the 32.9s. Not anymore as they cross the line. Dean Brummett still ran a 31.99 that lap. Landon Lacey ran a 32.04. So not much time gained for that 316 of Dean Brummett, but still time nonetheless.
Yeah, he's holding on there, man. Holding on a little bit better than he did that first stint, so maybe he backed off just a little bit to work on saving those tires, and we're going to have to keep our eye on that 45. I think he's trying something a little bit different as we hear him pushing the clutch in the corners here, trying to save as much fuel as he can to maybe try and pull out a miracle win here in a fuel mileage race. Just like we were talking about, baby, it's the playoffs. You'll do whatever you can do to change things up and not do exactly what the leader can do. Try to go out there and steal yourself a win and a championship.
Yeah, and you have to wonder around this time if there's a caution, say right now or the next 3 laps. If everyone pits, who's going to keep gunning it and go for one extra stop at the end, or who's going to try and save fuel and not take any more stops?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I have to see how it goes. I think right now these two guys are the class of the field, though. I don't see anyone coming up here to take the win away from these two guys, other than maybe the 25. Cody has had some really, really good long run speed. But as we said earlier, he lost a ton of time on that last pit cycle, stayed out to lead a lap, and just lost a ton of time. He's about 4.5 seconds now off of the lead pack of Landon Lacey and Dean.
Yeah, the tire wear here can, be a little bit more than you're thinking. When you're in a pack, you don't realize it because everyone else is dealing with the same tire wear. But, if you stay out that one extra lap, you lose a lot more time than you would think.
Sure.
Just due to that.
I agree with that 100%. Seems like right now it seems like Landon might be pulling away just a little bit here. That was about 0.58. Now we're up to about 0.66. So I think Landon is slowly starting to stretch that lead out here as we are coming to lap 63 of 100 live in the SERL Truck Series playoff race number 1. Your current leader, Landon Lacey, is here to make a statement. Try to come out of here with a championship.
Yeah, and last lap, Dean Brummett ran a tenth slower than Landon Lacey. Coming across the line now, you will see he ran 5/10 slower than Landon Lacey, so he's definitely losing time now. As Anthony Trippi is pitting this lap, so that would, I believe, fit in with his pit cycle of every 32.
Yes, sir.
So you have to wonder with people like Anthony if they're going to try and save near the end here, or if they're just going to kind of gun it, as I think Landon Lacey's going to come in.
Looks like
No.
Richard Gonzalez is on pit road. The leaders are going to take one more time around here, at least. We'll keep an eye on that. See what the leaders
I think they'll
do.
go to lap 64. 49 will be pitting in here.
We're on 64 right now, and you see the 45 lifting big time. It's going to be an interesting one. We're going to have to keep our eye on that 45.
Dean Brummett's caught up to Landon Lacey.
He is there, but I think they're about to pit.
Oh, he's pushing. No, they're staying out for another lap. I wonder if maybe they're going to try and extend it so they can get that final fuel run without having to worry about saving it all. Sometimes in these trucks, you see you have a few more laps in the tank, and you're like, you start trying to run them so you can have a shorter run for the next. So, as Dean Brummett is going to be coming in this time. I believe there may have been an issue with Anthony Trippi, as he says something about cold tires. Oh, he hit that inside line and got loose in 3 and 4. No, he got loose on his own. Was able to save the car, but good save by Anthony Trippi. Kept it out of the wall and kept it from going around as we stay green, as both the leaders are in here.
Yes, they are. Coming to you right here. Live on pit road. See if the 316 can make any moves here. Looks pretty
This will be a
even right
list off
now.
pit road here, yeah.
Yep.
As it looks like Landon Lacey is getting up on the tires a bit quicker with the jack. So he will pull out first, I believe.
Just a split second.
He's right behind him.
Boy, that is close. That was close.
So Dean Brummett here looking for the best pit exit he can get. Trying not to slide up onto the track because you don't want to get that black flag here.
Definitely, yeah. You can't. Oh boy, that's gonna be
Oh,
close.
I think he might have slid up.
I think the 24 did a little bit too. That's gonna be close.
If they both get that penalty, then someone like Anthony Trippi, who's currently sitting in P5, right behind these two, could take that position away. As Anthony's gained massive time, I just realized. He's not right on him, but he's closer than he was.
Yeah, he definitely is, and we saw from that shot just a second ago, the 25 of Cody Reeder did the exact same thing he did last time. He stayed out one extra lap, then came to pit road right after the leaders here, so it's about 2.5 seconds between Landon and Cody Reeder back here in third spot.
As Dean Brummett has lost some massive time with Cody Reeder here. Maybe going to try and push a little bit. I think he does have the draft of Cody Reeder. But doing everything he can to catch back up.
Yeah, and something tells me these guys are... I'm thinking the 316 might really be in conservation mode right now. Because
I don't know if the 24 will make it if he keeps pushing like he was.
Right. These guys are going to have to add a couple laps to what their normal pit strategy is in order to get to lap 100 here.
Yeah,
so
'cause if they did the normal pit, it would be 96, right?
Yes, sir.
So they're going to have to add another 4 laps in their run here. And that's where I think maybe Cody Reeder was a bit better off with his strategy, because he'll be on slightly fresher tires.
Right.
And he'll be able to push a bit more because he'll have 2 extra laps of fuel.
Really good pit strategy there for the number 23 of Richard Gonzalez. He's now up to the 6th position here. Really strong run. So that was very successful.
Is he the biggest mover now?
No. He actually qualified 6th, so he's right where he started, but he lost a handful of spots here, and he picked them. Picked them all back up. So.
Okay. He's the biggest mover in our hearts, all right?
Right, for sure.
The biggest mover on paper is that 75 of Stoney Benfield, still in 5th with +4 positions.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I am still sitting in a soccer jersey. Because I'm too lazy to change.
That's too funny. Looks like we gotta see what we got going on back here.
Looks like Dean has caught back up to Landon again.
He has caught back up to Landon.
At least.
I saw a gaggle of cars. There we go. I'm like, I saw something going on, but...
I want to see some fighting. Is it Jesse Steffs, Cody Reeder, Anthony Trippi is what you're seeing? Or?
Yeah. The 49, the 08, the 49 and the... that's weird because the scoring is not lining up to what my screen is showing. Yeah, I'm going to confuse myself, so let's move on.
As James C. Jones passes the lap car of Mike Wells here. Mike Wells maybe not having the day he wanted, but at least he's still out here, and if he enjoys it, then that's something. So.
Absolutely. And we see that James Jones did stay out until lap 66. So he was able to make up a couple other, let's see. Well, Landon and Dean came on 65, so... Kind of weird why he was holding the clutch like that. I don't know if maybe he had a faulty pit stop and didn't get it all the way full, because he didn't stay out longer than everybody else. So.
Maybe he was trying to just see how much kind of fuel mileage he would get, and when he realized he wouldn't make it, he decided to just go in.
Yep. Yeah, anything's possible. I know, for me personally, I have all of my pit stops programmed into my keyboard. So,
Oh, really?
you can have 4 tires and fuel, 2 tires and a half fuel, fuel only, splash and go. All that kind of stuff can be programmed onto a button. And there's the potential there to hit the wrong button. And that's a Code Brown moment. Oh, crap. Now I just got half a tank of fuel instead of a full tank of fuel. So it could be anything. But regardless, James Jones up here in P8 having a very solid night. And Dave Fuge Jr. in that number 4. He's catching Stony Benfield here. And a very solid, another solid run for that number 4 as he's holding on to the 7th position.
Yeah, and you were talking about pit stops and pit cycles. I usually will just use the black box controls, like going into pit lane or like the lap before, just trying to get ready. But usually I don't have mine programmed into a keyboard. I have it programmed to my brain whenever I need to.
Yeah, I try not to use my black boxes a whole lot. It's so much more efficient to just keep your eye on the road and hit a keyboard. But it's up to each your own. It's kind of like how you do race control. There's macros that you can program for all your pit strategies and turn off your automatic tires and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's really easy for me to hit the wrong button because I drive in VR. I really need to take the headset off trying to drive in. So.
Sure. No, that definitely makes a difference. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, there are definitely people who can memorize an entire keyboard and just bang,
Yeah.
But that's not me. I don't have time for that. So, yeah, looks like Dean Brummett has lost a bit of time again to Lennon Lacey.
Yeah, he has.
Maybe he's still running, 31. He ran 3/10 slower that last lap. So I wonder if maybe he's conserving a bit more going and to push harder at the end.
Kind of what I'm wondering, too. He has lost a little bit. Now the gap is up to almost a second. It's at about 0.94, 0.95.
Dean Brummett, though, I think is just glad to, be in this race still because, points are points here. He's still, pretty in the good to make the next round, but you want to be as safe as possible, especially, in this sort of playoffs when you're this close to the front like he is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we're coming to 21 laps to go already here, so unless something dramatic happens, he's going to come out of here once again with another great points day. So far, the man of the night is at number 24, Landon Lacey. He has had a tremendous long run speed here. Even when somebody gets close to him, I think he's just good enough here at Charlotte to maintain, do what he needs to do, and nothing more to keep that thing out front. His tire management has been on point tonight. He has been class of the field in that number 24 Toyota Tundra.
This is a very Nashville-esque performance from him. This is kind of similar to his race at Nashville, where he just kind of led the field and kept doing his own race. So he had to check up a little bit there for Mike Wells.
He did.
He's going to pass P8.
That got a little tighter than I think he wanted it to, but everybody's clean so far.
Yeah, when you're pushing as hard as you can in these trucks, sometimes it'll get a bit tight on him. And I think that's what happened to Landon Lacey there. But he's continuing to run away. I think he's thinking maybe if he can get enough time on these people who are saving, that he can, build up enough of a gap to keep pushing really hard at the end and just continue to gap these guys. But I think it's all up to what kind of time he can gain before he needs to make that pit stop.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Find out if he can, in fact, save enough to make it to the end here, because he's opened up an almost 2-second gap now. It was literally just a few laps ago that we said it was about a 1-second gap. Well, not no more. So, yeah, we're going to have to keep our eye on that as we see Cody Reeder has taken over the second position from Dean Brummett here, guys. Wow, I didn't see that coming, so Dean might be in fuel-saving mode here.
Yeah, and remember, Cody pitted later than a lot of these other guys, so he can push a bit harder at the end. I think you're starting to see it here.
Yeah, he actually only stayed out one more lap from the leaders this time, so he's only got 1 lap difference, but
Well, would it be 3 or no? My
no.
bad. I did a stupid. But he stayed out one last time, so I think he's just on a 1 lap later cycle. But I don't know if maybe that's a a strategy call on purpose, or because some of these guys will run practice for the race to figure out their fuel mileage. I don't, but yeah, I think someone was pitting it. That might have been Anthony Trippi said something.
Dave Mayo's on pit road, I can tell you that. I don't know about anybody else.
And this one was, I believe, scheduled and not because he slammed a wall. Hopefully, so.
Gotcha.
I'm going to scroll back and make sure. Looks like David may have ran a little long, so. Because remember, he had that extra pit stop, so he had some more fuel in the tank than a lot of these other guys.
Right, for sure. Definitely not the day that Dakota Camper planned on, I would have to imagine here. We're thinking he got a pit road penalty. Number 3 was on and off pit road 2 times back to back. I cannot hear the race comms on the broadcast, but I'd have to imagine somewhere in the team chat he said, "Dang it, I got caught by the speeding police."
I haven't heard anything in the team chat either. I started talking and then realized I was muted. So
We've
that's
got
where
a
I'm at now.
battle for the lead heating up here, ladies and gentlemen. That 25 car is on a mission, and he has gained over 3 seconds.
Landon Lacey is saving big time. He ran a 33.3 last lap.
Right. So the 25's going to just go by here. Oh, yeah, you can hear him putting the clutch in just like the 45 was earlier, doing everything he can to shut off that engine and save as much fuel as he can, trying to make it to the end of this race here. Wow. This is going to be an interesting finish, I think.
As I think he's starting to push now that he's the draft of that 25, because that's going to save him a little bit of fuel. But
yeah, using that draft absolutely will.
Definitely an interesting development here.
Yep, you can hear him
He
pushing
backs
in the
away
clutch.
from making the move. He didn't want to make the move for first there.
He didn't. He's pushing in the clutch and utilizing that draft to save as much fuel as he can.
Yeah, he had that he had that bottom open on Cody Reeder and actually checked up to keep behind Cody. So definitely in a very modified fuel saving move for Landon Lacey. This is the fastest fuel saving I've ever seen. I think Cody's trying to bait him into making that move.
He's trying, isn't he?
I think Cody wants to do the same thing Landon's doing to him.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be interesting here as we're coming to 11 to go. Do they have enough? Can they make it to the end? Or are we going to have somebody run out of gas with a lap or 2 to go? This is going to be something to watch here.
Because I think, Landon is starting to back off a lot now.
He definitely is, and Dean Brummett has dropped back just a couple, 2.5 seconds now. Certainly in fuel-saving mode back there in that 316. That's going to
Still running a bit faster than Landon Lacey, though. I think since he started conserving earlier, his conserving pace can be a little bit faster because he's been conserving longer.
Yeah.
Whereas Landon Lacey has to slow down a lot more with a few laps left.
This is going to do, though, is we've seen a couple people hit pit road here. The 23 of Richard Gonzalez, the 08 of Dave Mayo. With those pits taking place, that's going to move the 45 of James Jones up to the 4th position, as we saw him doing a heck of a job in everything he could do to save fuel. And it looks like if he can make it to the end of this thing, that strategy is going to pay off.
Yeah, it seems like he's also doing a heck of a job trying to sing Bon Jovi. So Seems like it's paid off here. P4 for the 45, James C. Jones. I believe he is up 4 positions, so he is now tied for biggest mover with Jesse Steffes. As only the top 5 are now in the lead lap.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
As Cody Reader and Landon Lacey are showing as red on the ticker for some reason. Not quite sure why it said that.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure why that was.
I'm gonna go back and check. I don't think any contact was made.
But right now, if we look...
I'm not seeing any contact here.
So Anthony Trippi came down and pitted on lap 88 as well. So he's going to be able to go full tilt boogie, hammer down, see if he can gain some spots here, as he's currently running in the 7th position. But it may be a little too late here. We're going to find out for sure. But
yeah, that time I highlighted Dean Brummett in red as well.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. There's no incidents for sure.
I wonder if it's a fuel thing. Like if it's a, they won't make it on fuel maybe.
Maybe. I've never seen it come across my scoring that way before, so I am not sure.
Well, I've never either, because I barely use this, so.
Yeah, it was weird that it just highlighted the leaders red, and I have no idea why it did that, but there's no incidents. I don't know. Technology, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So as we're coming to 5 to go, yeah, man, this thing is going to be over here in just a handful of laps. We're going to keep our eye on that number 24. He was clutching it to try to save fuel to get to the end of this thing. Gave up the lead to the number 25 and did his darndest to use the draft and keep clutching that thing to try to get to the end. I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but we are getting ready to wrap this race up here already. He's not clutching it anymore. It looks like he says, all right, I think it's time to go, boys.
Yes, now as they need 5 to go, Landon Lacey's going to make that move to the inside of the 25, maybe save just enough fuel. Yes, he's going to try and get this move done. 25 will have this run on the outside. I don't think 24 will be able to get there.
Wow, yeah, because only the top 4 guys are on the lead lap now, aren't they?
Yeah, because they just passed.
Because Trippi's trying to get his lap back. Man, that's all.
Yeah, and Fuge went ahead and pitted. So James C. Jones is now your only highest mover with +4, as Jesse Steffes has made another pit cycle.
Got it, yep. So there you see Anthony Trippi in the 44 going around the outside to get his lap back, but he's going to have to come all the way back around on those fresh tires to even have a chance at battling for the win here. Your points leader and current race leader, number 25, Cody Reader, coming to 2 laps to go here of playoff race number 1 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, I don't think Trippy's done, or Lacey's done here. This is going to be a heck of a battle. It's going to be close.
I think Cody pushed a little too hard last lap. Yeah, he ran a 31.98. I think he may have pushed a little too hard. I guess we'll find out here, as we're now going 2 to go at the line here. I started saying that way too early. So Landon Lacey maybe gonna try and look for a move on the last lap. I think he's out of fuel. He started backing off really quickly there and yeah, he's definitely out.
Oh man.
Looks like he's backed off a lot, especially at like the exit of 2.
He's still running.
Maybe looking for a run on the last lap. He might have given up too much time though, as we are on lap 100.
Yes, sir. Final lap of the race here. Cody Reader, can he hang on? Does he have enough fuel? We're going to find out here. He's only got 1 more corner to make it, and Landon Lacey is dropping off the pace a little bit here. He is not going to come across the start-finish line first, as the number 25, Cody Reader, is going to win here. Charlotte Motor Speedway, playoff race number 1. What a strategy. That was awesome. What a performance by that number 25. And 316 crosses the line in 2nd position.
Yeah, hold on, I just saw that across the ticker. What?
Landon Lacey must have ran out of gas. He's out. and Dean Brummett is going to steal a position from the
Right at the line.
24.
Wow.
That,
And
wow.
that is second place commitment right there.
Yes, sir. Your winner here, Cody Reeder. 25, your points leader, race winner, one heck of a playoff contender. That was an awesome, awesome strategy. Saved just enough fuel as we seen the 24 run out of gas on the very, very final corner and get passed by Dean Brummett, taking him back to the third position. We're going to step aside for just 1 second, grab some drivers, do some interviews. We will be right back with you. All right, we are back live with you here. Seems like the only guy we got right now is your race winner. We normally go backwards from third, second to one, but we're going to start tonight off talking to our race winner here. Going to bring in our race winner, 25, Cody Reeder. Congratulations on the win, bud. Man, fuel strategy worked in your favor. We saw right there on the last lap, the 24 ran out of gas on the final corner and got passed for that second spot by Dean Brummett here. So tell us a little bit about your night, man.
Kind of thing. But yeah, hopped in. Charlotte's always a fun track. It's one that I think every iRacer's raced a million times. So yeah, I saw the laps. Crew chief, or I guess spotter should say, did some math and realized that if we went green, which is going to that was probably what was going to happen tonight. We were going to need to save some fuel. So the green flag dropped. I didn't really go too hard. Just kind of just saving my stuff. Made up some time at the end. Coincidentally, I saved a lap of fuel, which I think actually ended up winning me the race. I had probably another lap of fuel left after the race was over. So did a good job maintaining that and just put yourself in a position to win.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely, man. We saw that you were stayed out a lap, an extra lap over the leaders. You got a point for leading the lap there, and then even during that second cycle, you came in a lap later. And I think you're right, man. I think that won the race for you tonight. Congratulations on the win for you and that 25 team, and good luck the rest of the playoffs. But I'm sure we'll talk to you in the near future.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
Absolutely, brother. Have a good weekend, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can't grab our second place finisher here. Mr. Second Place, Dean Brummett, you got a copy?
Yeah, buddy. What you say?
Hey, man. Well, I say the 24 ran out of gas. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, he did. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm torn. I love seeing a good green flag run like that, but I just hate when from the drop of the green flag, you're more worried about fuel than you are about going fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely can understand that. We saw some varying strategies and certainly different levels of drivers pushing and not wanting to push. But hey, man, you know what? It's playoff race number one, and you had a great points day as to be expected here for that 316 team. Um, yeah, so I don't know, man. I really saw that 24 car had some incredible, incredible long run pace tonight. Do you feel like you pushed a little too hard too early on that first stint?
You know, I'll be honest with you. Like when it comes to all the stints, I think one of the biggest problems I have is I don't get a ton of seat time. Like, cool, we get a little bit of practice before these races, but honestly, I feel like I can go in, I can run a little hard in the first stint, and make it up as the race goes on, because I just slowly, little by little, watch and learn what everybody else is doing. And when we got to when we got to the end of that first run, I was watching Landon kind of enter turn 3 a little higher than I was, and so I changed my line just a tiny little bit, and it started keeping a little more even pace. And then, like I said, it's I guess in the grand scheme of things, just kind of looking how it turned out on fuel, I guess everybody kind of pushed a little hard first and second stint, and then, like I said, comes down to the end. Like I said, congrats to the 25. It's just like I said though, man. It's just I want to be able to race. I don't want to have to be a strategist.
Yep. No, I definitely understand that perspective. Absolutely. As a racer, that's what we're here to do. I can certainly agree with that 100%. But at the end of the day, brother, you had a great run. Looking forward to the rest of the playoffs. You are certainly going to be in contention. And it was great talking to you, boss. And I'm sure we'll talk to you again in the near future.
Hey, we thank you guys. Have yourself a great evening.
You got it, bud. Take care. All right. Well, that's what we got for you for right now. I'm thinking Landon is maybe not in the mood to talk to us, and I can't say I blame him. That was a really good finish, man. One heck of a finish and strategy by the 25. You know
Yeah.
what? Him and that team, they earned it. You heard Dean. He's not necessarily a huge fan of it, and I understand it because there's a whole lot going on. From the outside perspective, not everybody understands when you're doing the sim racing that you're basically your own crew chief. And when you're in the heat of the moment, sometimes you just want to go out there and race. And to be able to make those
Yeah.
calls and make them properly, the 24 made a great call. Unfortunately, just a little bit short, and he was probably the fastest guy on the racetrack tonight. So I can understand the disappointment. But you know what? All three of those guys deserve. They ran a heck of a race here tonight. Great points day for all three of your top contenders here on a Saturday night at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Until next time, guys, we're going to step off here. Another good performance by the SERL Truck Series. We're going to see you next week. And everybody, enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Peace.